Hello and welcome to the show. This week on Downhill Chaos, it is the turn of the silly vehicles. Yes, I've gone to the top of the mountain. I'm in the content creator mode so that I can spawn these in, because some of these just cannot be airlifted. For example, this air tug. I tried a while ago to try and lift this to the top of the mountain. The cargo bob just simply won't pick it up. There is no chance I'm going to be able to drive it up here. There are some problems with with this thing. The first and the main one being the brakes. The brakes are terrible. They are absolutely useless on this vehicle. They just do not stop it. As you will see down here, okay, yeah, we're tumbling. The brakes I would not expect to stop. However, now we should be able to get it stopped. But no, we lost the bonnet, but the brakes just do not stop this at all. And that's a pretty big problem. This is a very steep route, and you need the brakes to be working. It tumbles spectacularly. It is a joy to watch. The only consolation for this being so terrible on the brakes is that when it does fall off the mountain, it is really rather spectacular. That wasn't a fault of the brakes, that was just me being a bit silly. Yeah, it really does spin around very well and flips, and I'm not sure Michael would survive. I think you would lose your head. Well, not only would you not be able to hold on, your head is also the roll bar for this. We got caught by a tree, and yeah, it is pretty damn tough. The other thing with the brakes, as we land the jump a little bit awkwardly, we're not going to get stopped there either, is that because the back wheels are much larger than the front, it feels like it's almost locking up the back wheels and not doing anything at the front. Just I don't know. I guess because the tyres have got a lot more grip at the back. This thing, the minute you put the brakes on, it just wants to spin. If it wants to do anything. After doing many 360s, there goes the bonnet again. Now it's to the very slow barrel rolls, and now we've gone on to the somersault section. We would score plenty of points in a stunt competition with this. As far as driving it goes, it is we've been caught by a tree. Yeah, it is a real pain driving this down the mountain. It's once you get used to the brakes, it's okay because it's not so fast. Learning the brakes is a real problem. You have to be very cautious with this. You have to brake very early, even though it doesn't get very much speed up. You do have to. I got really lucky on that rock, because that normally ends pretty badly doing that. Yeah, you basically have to brake a lot earlier than you would. Well, at least on the downhill bits. Once you're on a flat surface, it's fine. Largely because this thing does not get up very much speed at all. Yeah, it's not very fast in a straight line, but it's not expected to be, it's not supposed to be. Also, I cannot, as far as I know, get the other air vehicle. I'm not sure what it's called. The one that, yeah, the sort of the weird looking one. I don't think I can ever do a Downhill Chaos with that, unfortunately, because I cannot cargo bob it up, or at least last time I tried, unless they have changed it. Last time I tried, I could not cargo bob it. The cargo bob just would not pick it up, and I also cannot spawn it in. So yeah, this is the only sort of the airport maintenance-y style vehicle, if you like, that I can really use for that. Once you have got the hang of the brakes on this course, though, it becomes fairly straightforward. I was just choosing not to take the jump. Didn't really need the risk because I'm going so slow in this. I'm not losing any time by choosing not to take the jump. If you're using a car and you have to do that, like with the Futo for example, you lose quite a bit of time because you've got to slow down an awful lot to actually make the turn. But in this, you don't really slow down that much more than you would normally. I tried not to make the jump on that one, actually couldn't stop the thing. I got a bit lucky on the landing there. It didn't have any bounce, I didn't have any problems with that, and the fact that I missed the turning didn't really matter. On this one, actually taking the turning route is a lot more dangerous than landing the jump, because the route is it's very narrow, incredibly easy to overshoot, so I just elected to take the jump and risk the landing a little bit. By the time I got to here, I was a little bit nervous on the brakes. I was a little bit scared it just wasn't going to stop. It's quite steep down here. I also thought I'd thrown it all away with that bump, and I thought I was going to go around in a circle. Amazingly, I somehow got away with it. Look at that, almost a backwards entry in an air tug, or whatever the blue thing's called. Yeah, I managed to slide around the corner, and there we go. The air tug has made it across the line. Not particularly fast. I tried to go for a flat spin across the gap, and it didn't work. I don't know why I thought it would work in this, but never mind. Yeah, it's slow. The brakes don't work very well. But it's not the worst vehicle I've had to drive down here. As I said, get the hang of the brakes, and it's not particularly bad, although that's largely just because it's not very slow. I also now cannot stop it from going downhill. It just doesn't do anything. Have we got it stopped now? Yes, just about. Ignore the explosions on this next run. It's not important. The AI, I guess the AI, when you're doing a test for this, the game spawns in some AI, and I'm guessing it spawned them in with the rocket launcher. Luckily, none of them sort of came over my way, so it's all fine. Yes, I'm going to give it a go with the lawnmower. I've seen a few people want to see me drive this down the mountain. This is an interesting thing. Surprisingly, it turns and brakes so much better than the air tug. It really is a lot better to drive. However, it has just no speed. There is absolutely no speed. Amazingly, despite the no speed, I managed to mess up. I forgot how wide it was and clipped the rock. Couldn't really recover it very well and fell off. And off goes the lawnmower, and Michael goes sliding off down the side of a mountain. However, that was the only fail I did with the law. I'm not sure how you fail with this. Yeah, you got to pay attention to the the width of the thing. Once you are going downhill, this is actually pretty nice to drive. I am kind of surprised about me saying that. Yeah, I did a 360. It's fine. I didn't lose any time at all, pretty much, in that one. Yeah, once you're sort of going downhill, it's actually quite fun. It's actually not that bad. And then when you stop going downhill on a flat bit, it's incredibly slow. It's really very, very slow. I wish this course was a little bit steeper, or this thing was a little bit faster, because it's actually, yeah, it's weird saying this, but the lawnmower is quite nice to drive. It has good grip, it has good brakes. I guess it's partly to do with it being very, very light. And yeah, and it was kind of fun. It was fun on the fast sections. It just got a little bit boring on the not fast sections, if you like. The other downside to this is it is incredibly low. I don't know what you would like, the spinny, bladey, guardy bit, and the bit that I don't even know. Is that bit to shoot out grass the other side? Possibly? I don't no blooming clue. They are incredibly low to the ground. Lawnmower is not really designed for tackling this sort of terrain, really. And yeah, they scrape along the floor. I don't know if you can hear it at the moment. It makes an awful lot of noise. Also, I do apologise. Where I'm living at the moment is having a monumental rainstorm. I'm hoping you can't hear it over the microphone. I think it's calmed down briefly, but if there is weird noises going on in the background, that's probably what is going on. I'm just looking out the window. I think it's calmed down briefly, but yeah, good old England being rather wet. So yeah, the run for the lawnmower was slow. It was struggling. There's some bits like whatever the casings, if you like, went through the floor, and other bits they got stuck on and it got bumped around a little bit. The jumps, I was going so slow, it didn't really matter. I didn't really lose much time. In fact, I think I gained time. I took these paths because they were a bit steeper, whereas on the jump you'd land and you'd lose momentum. And by taking the paths, I could actually gain a little bit of speed briefly. Yeah, this is a downhill chaos, as I call it, a downhill route, but there are still bits of it that are fairly flat, and that's where the lawnmower really struggled on this final one again. I didn't really want to risk taking the other route. It's only a very last resort do you take that one, because it's so narrow, very, very easy to make a silly mistake on that. And then we come towards the final. We're nearly there. We're nearly done. And then things start to pick up. We start to speed up a little bit. I would have loved to have had the lawnmower. Who was it? Is it Team Dynamics? The British touring car team built for Top Gear. The ridiculous 100-mile-an-hour lawnmower or something. That would be excellent. That would be great, great fun on here. As it is, yeah. On the downhill bits, it was great. It was surprisingly fun to drive. It was just so slow when it wasn't going down a rather large hill. However, the lawnmower got to the finish line. It wasn't a particular challenge driving this. I tried to take the jump that didn't have enough speed. We lost the bonnet, and the lawnmower is... No, come back, lawnmower. It's escaping. The lawnmower is escaping on its own. It's moving faster than I am. There we go. Yeah, it was surprisingly entertaining. But yeah, it was always going to be very, very slow. Not particularly challenging, though. We move on to a bulldozer. Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to this one particularly. In case any of you remember, a while ago we drove, I think it was the second episode, was it? I drove a tank down here. The tank was absolutely atrocious because this game doesn't do tracked vehicles very well. They don't behave like a tracked vehicle should. There was one problem I have with them. They also have a very weird shimmying thing going on with it. You'll see on here with the bulldozer exactly the same thing happened with the tank. It will move about on its own, and there is nothing I can do about it. It will just do it, and you have to hope when it chooses to shimmy around that it's not right on the edge. It's, yeah, really not very nice and rather scary. The big problem I have, there you go, you see, it just sort of randomly moved to the right. I had no steering input on that, it just did it. The other big problem I have with the tracked vehicles is they just don't, you can't turn them on the spot. You have to actually be going forward, and that's not how a tracked vehicle works. You should be able to spin a tracked vehicle around pretty much on the spot because you can send one track forward and one track backwards and it will spin around in a circle. Okay, maybe not quite, but you get the idea. Whereas on here you actually have to be going forward for the vehicle to actually turn, which makes them very, very unmanoeuvrable. And it is a rather wide and a rather large vehicle, this one, which means just getting around the track can be a bit of a problem. Yeah, again, you can see it's bumping around and moving on its own. And yeah, I was worried about that. However, unlike the tank, this thing is horrendously slow, so the fact that it's moving about isn't actually too bad. It's not as bad as the tank, sort of, for just random crashing on here. It's much more controlled. Just with an element of occasional random movements, but you can deal with it on the most part with this. Again, you can see it's doing a weird little dance as I go around one of the tighter corners. It's safe to say the bulldozer's run was not particularly exciting. This is the first run I think I've ever felt the need to cut because it just took so long and just wasn't particular. It wasn't particularly challenging. There was the occasional scare with it moving about, but it wasn't really challenging. It was just slow. I was taking the jumps. There was no chance I was going to try and risk running sort of the very narrow paths, because all it would take is one bad sort of shimmy from the vehicle and I would be off the edge of the mountain. So yeah, it was just slow. It wasn't the most exciting of vehicles. As we come down towards the final section now, I was rather concerned. I really didn't want to make a mistake down here because I did not want to have to do this run again. As yeah, it felt like it took an age. It really did. There was a minor heart attack moment coming up where it looked like the thing had decided it was going to go there. I thought it was going off the edge. Luckily, it just about came back and I could save it, and then we could carry on with the run. And the finish line is just around the corner. Yeah, bulldozer's not very fast. I'd like a faster bulldozer as well. That would be interesting and quite dangerous. In fact, be very dangerous. And come on, we're nearly there. In fact, I was so eager to get around the final corner, I may have bumped a rock at about 2 miles an hour. There we go. Bulldozer has made it all the way down the hill without any drama, without any excitement at all. Yeah, it was rather slow. I go for the jump with the bulldozer. It doesn't work either. However, the bulldozer is a better, I guess, off-roading vehicle, better traction, and it didn't slide all the way down. And I actually managed to get across by just sort of climbing over the rocks. Yeah, there we go. The bulldozer made it down. I wouldn't recommend trying. Yeah, it's a bit boring, if I'm honest. The final attempt, this was, I saw somebody posted this, sounded like fun, is to use the super sprint and the super jump cheats, so you run much faster and you jump much higher. You would think running down a mountain would be fairly easy. Apparently not. I tried to kind of shortcut the route and Michael managed to fall over. Yes, he did all the big super jump and then a small little hill made him fall over. Yeah, fine, whatever game. So yeah, again, this was another run, if you like, that took a very quite literally a run. I see what I did there. I see my own joke. Yeah, it was a bit interesting. One of the unseen dangers, if you like, that you never normally think about is the cougars will actually chase you, and I'm pretty sure they get like a one-hit kill on you. So that's why I had the super jump thing turned on, because yeah, I wanted to actually be able to clear them. The problem with using the sort of speed run, I can't remember what the cheat's called now, but the problem with using the running is it works much better on flat terrain. If this entire course was flat, you see there, we pick up a lot of speed, and then we start going kind of downhill again, and then Michael loses all of the speed. There is much furious tapping of A button in this. And yeah, because of the hills, it doesn't really. It just makes it a lot longer process than it could have been. So the speed run's just not quite as effective. So for the running, I'd have liked a smoother surface, or like a flatter surface, because then I would have been able to get more speed. Whereas with the lawnmower, I got slightly scared looking behind because I could hear a cougar. I don't know if they chase you. I presume they don't chase you. I never had one follow me anywhere. Yeah, for this I would like a sort of a flatter surface, whereas for the lawnmower I would like a much steeper downhill. Anyway, after a while, again, another not particularly exciting run, this one. Again, oh god damn it, I've got to stop saying that. Yeah, it wasn't massively exciting, it wasn't particularly challenging. You occasionally had to jump over a cougar. Got a lot of airtime over that. I don't know how quite he launched himself so far in the air. I mean, the super jump is, yeah, sure, it's a bigger jump. Not quite that big a jump normally. But yeah, we made it down to the bottom of the mountain. Yeah, and I'm just playing around with the jump. The jump's quite good fun. I do quite like the jump. But yeah, the run wasn't the running, if you like, the speed running wasn't quite as effective on the mountain, as it's just too steep to really actually get up any speed, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, we move on to the times. Well, these were always going to be down towards the bottom. The air tug thing actually beat a couple of vehicles. It goes into 37th, ahead of the camper van that went down in the worst storm I've ever seen, and the tank that was just generally useless. It wasn't that far, actually, off a bus, which is it's not too bad, considering. The lawnmower is, yeah, quite a long way off the tank, and the tank was terrible. Yeah, the lawnmower, not very fast, didn't really expect it, was quite fun though. The speed running, as I said, actually not that far off the lawnmower, sort of time-wise. It wasn't as effective as it could have been because of the very, very steep inclines. And the bulldozer was utterly, utterly terrible. You quite literally can get to the bottom of the mountain faster running than you can in that. No, just don't do it. It's not fun and it's not exciting. So yes, there we go. That is it for some silly vehicles down the mountain. As expected, they were, well, silly vehicles and on foot. Yeah, they weren't. The lawnmower was surprisingly entertaining, actually. I give that vehicle credit. The rest weren't as exciting as some runs, but you know, people wanted to see silly vehicles, and yeah, they're the ones I could do. There were some like the dock handler and that kind of thing. I just can't get up on top of the mountain. I couldn't spawn it in. There was no place. I couldn't even place it to spawn it in. I'm pretty sure you can't pick that up with a helicopter. Anyway, next week. Oh, also, while I think about it, I can't do the rusted tractor either. I was going to use that. However, that's another one that I cannot pick up with the cargo bob. I don't know why. I tried. I spent a good 4 or 5 minutes trying, and no matter what I did with the cargo bob hook, it just will not pick up the tractor. So yeah, I can't do that one, unfortunately. Anyway, that is it for this week, so thank you very much for watching. Next week, we are going to look at some serious vehicles. We are going to be challenging the Sanchez, seeing if I can get anything to beat the Sanchez down this mountain. Yeah, and we will see if we can go faster. I don't know if we can. It'll be interesting to find out, though. However, that is it for today, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.